7 at 1330 KNSS. In the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, I'm Jed Chambers.
Weather.
Other than some patchy fog this morning, it's going to be a nice afternoon, mostly sunny, a little breezy, northwest wind 15 to 30 and a high of 56. Clear and colder tonight, overnight low 29, but a little blustery, so wind chills may be around 20 by Wednesday morning. Partly cloudy, cooler tomorrow, high 47. Things look good, though, for Thanksgiving, mostly sunny and 52. That's your forecast from Storm Team 12. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn.
Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH Wichita, KNSS HD2 Clearwater, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Hey Wichita, it's Jacob Albrock. Stay right there for the latest breaking in sports talk. It's Sports Daily coming up next, exclusively on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. So, are the Shedeur Sanders cultists right in saying, see, told you so, he's him? Or are the Shedeur haters correct in saying he actually was terrible yesterday and it was that relentless Browns defense that won that game, not Shedeur? As always, the answer is yes. Look, he absolutely gave the Browns a spark and generally did show some poise and composure. That said, he and his nation need to stop acting like that was, quote, legendary, and Shedeur needs to refrain from clapping back against his, quote, haters. Yes, a win is a win, and a win is nice. But that win came against the worst team in the league, the Raiders. And you won because of the defense and not because Shedeur lit up the joint. Yes, he earned another start. Yes, I want to see more, especially against a team that matters. Just know there is nothing legendary about beating the most pathetic team in the league. How he plays this week against Frisco is going to tell us a lot more about Shedeur than anything we saw yesterday. I'm Jim Rome.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensated for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. With large mourners and support, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH, this is Sports Daily.
Welcome in, everybody. Happy Tuesday to you here in Feast Week. It's almost Thanksgiving. Hope everybody's appropriately making the room and the old bellies to stuff your face in a couple of days and enjoy family and friends, hopefully. We're sure glad you're with us here on Sports Daily. You can get in touch with the program. You can give us a call, good old-fashioned way. We've got Max Power, man, in the KFH hotline at 869-1240. We've got your video streams cooked in and locked in, 12 News Connected, YouTube, X. You can comment to us that way. You can leave us voice messages on the Odyssey app, all kinds of different ways you can get in touch with us here on the program, and we're glad to have you no matter how it is that you get in touch with us here on the program. We've got a lot of fun coming up for you today. KU plays and opens their tournament week Monday. We'll react to that. We get K-State, Wichita State getting in action this week as well. More from KU. We'll have more reaction to the Chris Kleiman press conference. He talked yesterday, and we'll have Wyatt Thompson in just a few minutes, the voice of the Wildcats, get his take on things as well. It's all coming to you. What's on Tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, where groups gather for holiday fun. While everyone's in town, make WBC your unofficial high school or college alumni meetup spot. More than 15 beers, a Christmas cocktail list, pizzas everyone will love, making Wichita Brewing Company the place where groups gather for the holiday season. Jacob Albrock here, TJ Cleveland there. TJ, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I just went to the ESPN website to go pull up the box score from KU's game against Notre Dame yesterday, and I didn't know why I couldn't find them because they're not in the top 25 anymore. Didn't even clock that.
Yep. They fell out of there, which is fine, I think, for this group.
It's just weird. It's just weird. They're supposed to be on that tab.
Just give it a minute. Just give it a minute, everybody. You're going to have to be patient. I actually think yesterday is a reason to be excited for KU fans. I thought they looked really good, just to be perfectly honest with you. Saw a lot of good things yesterday and some things I think that are interesting and maybe not the best thing, but we'll discuss that. We had Monday Night Football last night. KU, by the way, 71-61 winners over Notre Dame. Monday Night Football last night, kind of a dud, right? Not real exciting. The Niners take care of the Panthers, a game that has plenty of meaning, but 20-9, just kind of like, nah, not a ton there. But it ends a week, and now we get ready for a week, TJ, with just some monster matchups. Man, Thursday is going to be wild. We got to decide if we want to do picks this week or not tomorrow, because we don't have shows Thursday or Friday. So we'll work through that for you. But it was a good sports night. It was a good sports day. Those college basketball games, they never let up yesterday. This Vegas tournament, man, I'm in because was just
that's something to talk about. That's really
matchup after monster matchup.
The Vegas tournament is really making its rounds on social media about it's the first time anything like this has ever happened. Because for one, it's a 32 team tournament. Like, it's ginormous.
Is it even a tournament?
So this is what happens, and it doesn't make a bunch of sense to me yet. I don't really understand how it works, but there's 32 teams. This is the pool play section on Monday and Tuesday, and so there's multiple arenas in Vegas while they're playing simultaneously, and they go and it's whoever's the top blank. I don't know how many make it, 16 or 8 or something like that. Then they get into bracket play, and then they go, and so it's I don't know. It draws all these teams because it's an NIL. Hotbed. If you look at the court, there's 17 ads on it because they're trying to make as much NIL money as possible to pay out. And so it's really making its rounds about like, this is probably the tournament that's going to kill the Maui Invitational. It's going to kill the Battle for Atlantis. And then it starts getting into Dennis Dodd, the CBS or former CBS reporter, said something along the lines of like, this could think bigger than the Final Four. This could just be what the NCAA tournament looks like now. And people are tweeting about it. And
I mean, Dennis Dodd's my guy. I listen to Dennis Dodd. He is very smart. I'll have to look up that tweet. I don't understand why any of that would need to be true. Why would any of that need to be true?
I mean, it's mostly going to be true because it's going to take these midseason tournaments, even before the NIL was involved, Dan Hurley basically said, we're never going to Maui. We're never going to go to a place where we have to cram in 3 games in 3 days, and they'd rather do it this way. And now it sounds like the Vegas tournament wants to spread it out longer and have it be over 2 weeks now. And it's going to change the entire way that people schedule non-conference game, their non-conference schedules, because they're just going to load up in the Vegas tournament and go over there because it's actually worth something. And I don't know.
Okay, so we'll before we get into the game itself, I'm trying to understand why this would kill the Maui Invitational.
Because teams don't want to play it anymore.
Okay, 32 teams don't want to play in it. Good thing there's about 300 teams.
Yeah, but look at the field this year. The best team playing in it is Texas and Arizona State.
Who was the best team playing in it last year?
UConn played in it last year.
I'm just it rotates every year. The Shockers,
it's
K-State.
Always good though.
Yeah, but the Shockers and K-State aren't in Vegas. You think Wichita State's going to get an invite
to Vegas?
Yeah, no,
probably not.
No, so I don't understand. There are lots of teams in college basketball to still go play tournaments everywhere.
Yeah,
so
they're not the high marquee matchups that we're used to seeing in Maui. What
difference does that make, though?
I don't know. I don't think it. It just feels like it. I don't know. It feels like it. I don't know.
It's not going to kill the Maui Invitational. It's just the Maui Invitational won't have UConn. It just won't
be as good. None of them will be as good.
But as good for who? Like
Or
for the TV viewing, they're going to put anything on. Like we're watching games. Watched Washington State play Chaminade yesterday. Is it going to get worse than that? No. Like I don't know. I think that's silly.
I think the bigger argument's not where it's at right now. It's the argument of, well, why doesn't the Vegas tournament just go to 64? Like, why don't we just make a November Madness and do it that way? And then the winner gets $10 million.
I mean, if that's what they want to do, that's fine. Like it gives us good games. It's like, I'm really glad for Kansas's sake that they have this tournament. They need these games. It's unfortunate.
Then I think, what about the argument of like, does this take away this isn't what I'm saying. Does this take away from March Madness because we have our own ginormous tournament?
We're not at the end of the season. Does whatever stupid thing they're playing in the NBA right now take away from NBA finals?
No, but that's chaos. I don't really understand that.
It's the same thing. Like, it's not the end of the season.
That's true.
Like, if they're trying to do this, in March, maybe it's Thanksgiving week. Like, they're just playing the games in Vegas instead. The same games. Right? We get these games all the time. So I'm not going to complain if, oh my gosh, now Kansas is going to play 4 more games against Blue Bloods before they get into conference. But no, it'd be awesome. I genuinely, I don't understand the blowback on it. I'm probably missing something. I think, because it's November.
I think I might be missing something too, honestly.
Okay, it's November. Like, we're
the biggest gripe that you can have on this tournament, pointed out by Henry Greenstein, the KU beat reporter. He was there covering the KU game yesterday. It's the new era because it has players in it, but it makes everybody wonder where the apostrophe should be because there's none. Players era. Is it the player apostrophe S era, the players era, or the players era? Where's the grammar?
That is a good grammar question. I would think the plural, not the possessive.
Whose era is it?
Plural. I think plural, not possessive, but that's a good question. All right, we'll come back. Let's talk about KU and what they did on the court. You're going to have to explain to me if there's more games than what I already know about in this format now.
There is.
That I want to know what's happening there. So we'll get to all of it when we return on Sports Daily. Actually, we'll have Wyatt Thompson when we return on Sports Daily. Then we'll get to it on the other side.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issue a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
$869-1240.
Time to get busy.
This is Sports Daily on KFH.
And now, digging deeper with the teams you follow, it's another Daily Insider interview on KFH.
And we welcome you back in with voice of the Wildcats, Wyatt Thompson. Wyatt, we've got some hoops, some football to talk about, and a great big old story that has to do with neither on the field or court that we've got to get to as well, that's been dominating the headlines. Before we dig in, how are you this morning?
Well, I'm pretty good. In Bloomington, Indiana for the basketball game tonight. We got in here late yesterday afternoon. It'd been a long, long time since I'd been at Assembly Hall. As a matter of fact, I was just a young guy and was here on a 4-H event tour. And they had basically just opened the building. What I'm telling you is I'm really old, but it was really cool walking back in there, and you kind of forget over time just the history of this program, 5-time national champions as an example, and one of the more unique facilities that I think I've ever been in all of my years of broadcasting, probably the highest ceiling. You'd have to see this to really appreciate it, because the seats are like way up. A great facility though, and looking forward to the opportunity.
There you go. It's gonna be an awesome game tonight. We'll start with football though before we dig into some Cats basketball. I imagine the heart was beating a little bit for you in Utah. Insane game. We'll just start there on the field. I don't think that anybody thought that it was going to go that way. I think that might be one of the craziest K-State games that I've seen in a couple of years.
I'm in total agreement with that. I think as you look back on it, you have to remind yourself that K-State was a 17.5-point underdog. And I've done a lot of games at Kansas State in 24 years, and I'm sure there's been times, but I just can't remember the exact one prior to this where K-State was that big of an underdog and then had that kind of day that was probably out of left field that nobody expected. As an example, had I said to you, K-State's going to rush for 472 yards, what would you have said back? I mean,
They
you'd
won the
have said,
game.
"You're crazy, dude. You've lost it. It's time to go." Right? But they kind of reached back in the files, so to speak, and kind of did a little bit of a scheme from the Connor Riley era from the last couple of years. Nobody had seen it this year. I think it kind of took them by surprise. Now, they adjusted, certainly, as did K-State to some of the things that they did. But it was a wild game on every level. Just you don't see. Well, let's put it this way: in 2 weeks, we went from 14-6 to 51-47. Welcome to the 12, fellas.
Two
That's
polar
just kind of
opposites.
how it goes.
Yeah, and that's a good segue. The Big 12 is crazy.
Yeah.
Wyatt, Coach Kleiman had a moment after the game where things got pretty emotional for him, which is fine. I'm having a hard time, and I was a little surprised, and kind of makes me sad that clearly the outside noise has gotten to him as much as it has, because clearly it has. But to me, I think it's silly for some of that noise to be creeping in this year. It has been a wildly disappointing year for K-State. There's no question about it.
Of course.
But the overall body of work, to me, in this league, in this game, and I guess how close it is maybe is a microcosm of that. I have a harder time understanding where some of this vitriol is coming from a bigger picture for K-State. In my opinion, and that's why I love that you're here today. In my opinion, winning most years 8, 9, 10 games, and let's call it every 3 or 4 years competing for a Big 12 championship, while having bigger recruiting wins than the school's probably ever seen, is a good enough outcome for K-State football. This year's been disappointing, but I'm very surprised with how much people talk about, is it time to make a switch? Because that to me seems so wildly premature. I don't think any team in the Big 12 is going to do much better than the overall body of work that we've seen from Chris Kleiman. I think the league's too tough. It's never going to happen for any team not named Texas or Oklahoma.
You said so much there, to be honest with you, and I think you're right on target. This, when Stan and I had him on the air and the radio post, you could tell he was hugely disappointed and what have you, but didn't show that emotion just yet. And then 10 minutes later, with the entire media at the presser, you could see that the emotion had built up. And I guess what I'm trying to say is I think as you indicated, there have been a lot of things on the table this year that have frustrated him. I think going back in time, you and I have talked about this, his frustration level over the 105 and having to cut those kids right before, camp started, by even his own admission, was maybe the hardest thing he had ever had to do in coaching. And he had to do it because he wanted to be fair to them, to give them a chance to land somewhere else. So it started there. And then you have the issue with a couple of heat things in right before camp. The trip to Ireland, the subsequent, relatively poor games after that. I mean, it goes on and on. The Dylan Edwards story. Yes, this has been a major disappointment. I don't think you could even argue that when your expectations are to win the league or be in the running for it and maybe be a playoff team, and you're going into the final week of the regular season at 5-6, you don't have to say anything other than it's been a huge disappointment. But I do believe, and you hit on it there, when you put all of this together, and on top of that, you put a performance like that together and don't win, and there's about 5 or 6 calls in the game, and all of them go against you. I think he just boiled over. I think it's as simple as that. I think he's a very, generally speaking, very even keel, calm guy. but I think the emotion of all of it, and he has been frustrated and thinks some of the criticism is unfair. I get the arguments that, he's paid a lot of money and you have to put up with some of that. But you touched on this thing too that I think is a big deal. Okay, in that, just being honest with this, I really think that the ones that are calling for his head, those are the ones that bother him the most. And if you also say that, he hasn't taken any criticism in North Dakota State, you don't really know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a year where they lost in the semis and he was an idiot.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit unfair.
Yeah, Wyatt, it was crazy. I want to just kind of keep talking about that, is the fact that, I caught that later that night, pulled up the Go Power Cat YouTube and was watching the video, and I was like, oh my, like I've never seen something like that, in at least a lot of, we talked about, you've seen some of the press conference moments, the I'm a man, I'm 40 press conference moments, stuff like that from Gundy and everything. But from a coach showing that much emotion, that's kind of something that doesn't happen often, especially on a stage like that. It's got people divided about, as you said, some people are saying, well, you make that much money, you're not allowed to act like that or anything. But I know that there's a lot of glass half full K-Staters that are saying, like, how cool is it in an era where everybody just wants to fire their coach and coaches are jumping to other jobs, to have somebody that feels like that about the program?
And I think he understands all of that. I don't think that's what this is, but I think he just had one of those moments where all of the things boiled up at one point and he needed a release, and we saw the release. I don't think it's any more complex than that. I think most of the time, and I'm probably defending him a little bit here, most of the time, he handles the criticism as well as most have, okay? And we all get it. I mean, you guys have been doing this a while now, maybe not as long as I have, but hey, when things are not going well, who gets the blame? The head coach is right at the top of the list. After that, it's usually one of the coordinators and probably the quarterback. That's the way football works. It's the greatest game out there, but it is reality. I have seen the frustration build with him through this, with all of that. I'm not saying I predicted he was going to do that on Saturday. I don't mean that in any way, because it even surprised me that that's the way it went, and just the emotion of it. But I do think that he feels like some of the criticism of not just him, but of the team in general, is probably a little unfair. And there will be people that say, tough, grow up, or whatever they're going to say. And I guess I understand that side too.
Yeah, I mean, the criticism of the team this year, I think, is fair. It's been wildly disappointing.
Most of it is.
I think it's the big picture thing where that to me is where I'm like, guys, it's been 28 wins coming into this year. And I know the Big 12 standing hasn't been good, but the Big 12 is so tough. Like you lose 2-3 games, like that's just the way it's going to be in this league. I think it had to be. You mentioned Dylan Edwards, like that has to be included in there. Avery Johnson's future has to be included in there. Like there are new stresses, I think, to the job that maybe haven't been there in the past, that guys are dealing with. But I guess we'll find out how they respond this week. I would imagine that they'll be inspired, just like they were in Utah. And they'll get to their bowl game and they'll try to, rinse it all away, I suppose. But the guy loves his players. It's just really is like, is this a good enough body of work for K-State fans after this many years with a coach? And I would say it is. And if you think it isn't, I think those are unreasonable expectations in this league, in this era of college football. I think K-State's right in a fine place, albeit has had a really disappointing year this year, for sure.
Yeah, you can't argue the disappointment. I totally appreciate that. Heck, I'm as big a K-State fan as there is out there, right? And it's been frustrating for all of us because they have been all over the map, right? And I remember after the KU game, there were fans that were euphoric, and there were others that were saying things like, where has this been, right? All of that's probably fair. And as I mentioned before, the difference between Stillwater week and Salt Lake City week were A to Z different. So it has been just wildly inconsistent. And the other frustration, of course, is, they've been really pretty damn good, if I'm being honest, about winning close games, but not this year.
Not this year.
And it's been really, really hard with all of the one-score losses. Really hard.
It's been a weird year, Wyatt. That's the best way to put it that you can say. It's all-encompassing. Yeah. It's just a really weird year for K-State football. We'll switch over to K-State basketball quickly. As you said, you're in Bloomington tonight. I think that as we've gone along here, at least watching in Kansas City this past week was kind of the first real, Power 5 competition, really get a chance to watch them on on national TV, national streaming, I guess, whatever you want to call that.
Yeah.
They look good. And I think that the defensive woes have gotten better. I think that this is a team that we become more high on every single week.
I really like what I've seen so far. Not that there aren't things that they have to get better at, and you probably start with defense, but they, I think, have proven in a relatively short period of time that this is a team that can score, and they have quite a few options. They pretty easily disposed of Mississippi State in the first game last Thursday. And I honestly think the game on Friday, they probably were a little bit shell-shocked early. I think if you just look at Nebraska and don't necessarily play them, you have to play them to understand the physicality and how well they space the floor and pass the ball, and frankly, shoot it most of the time. They jumped out on K-State, and to give the Wildcats credit, they bounced back. Now, remember, I was in Salt Lake. I've watched the game like most fans, or listened, and actually both in my particular case, because Wade was filling in for me. But they fought back, and they too had a couple of calls late in the game that went against them. And that's, I don't want to make it all about officiating, but because that wouldn't be fair. But I think one thing that Coach Tang said to me that sticks with me is how disappointed and mad they were after the loss. Because I think they feel like they're the better team. They just didn't win that night. So now I'm even more interested on what they do tonight against a pretty good Indiana team, who is a Big Ten team, but not like most Big Ten teams. Meaning, when you think Big Ten basketball, tell me if you think I'm wrong on this, they're going to be big and physical and tough. These guys are a little bit more finesse, shoot the three, those kind of things. And this is year one for Coach DeVries here. So maybe they'll evolve into that eventually, but that's not what they are today. But they've got a good club. They've got Coach DeVries' son, Tucker, who can really play, and the Wilkerson kid can play. They make a lot of threes, average 20 assists a game, play pretty good defense. So, but with all of that said, I think K-State, if they play well, they got a chance. We'll see.
I'm ready, Wyatt, to say that this K-State team is going to be good. I thought I was impressed by the Nebraska performance. I was very impressed by the Mississippi State performance.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna score a ton, and I think like most teams they'll improve defensively. But I'm kind of we've played I'm in. Like I think this is going to work. I think they're going to be a good team.
Well, I think they certainly have a chance, and because you have so many options to score the ball, and PJ's elite. I mean, everybody has seen it to this point. Scoring just comes natural for some people, and he does it in so many ways. He's not a three-point shooter, but he can shoot the three. He scores through contact on plays off the bounce and that kind of stuff. I mean, he knows how to play. And Abdi's been really good for the most part. I'm a big fan of Nate Johnson. I think Castillo's come along. If some of those other guys can continue to make some progress, whether it's Kostic or Elias being a little more consistent or what have you, now I think you're talking. They have some pieces, I think, is what we're trying to say, and that's exciting.
Yeah, it feels like, since we're talking, we'll segue this from expectations about the football team and where they were. I feel like it's kind of fair that we set an expectation for the basketball team. That I think it's a disappointment if they don't make the tournament. I think they should at least be a bubble team. They were, I guess they were kind of a bubble team last year in a way after the streak that they went on. So I think that this team is better than last year's team. I think that maybe not, talent-wise, but I think that as a unit, they look better as a team. I think that most K-State fans would agree with that. But I think when it gets down to March, we should be looking at them as one of the 7s or the 10s or whatever you want to put them as.
Yeah, I think they've got an opportunity to be an NCAA tournament team, and that's exciting, I think, for all of us. But I think there are, a couple of things that they must be more consistent at, and the defensive side is one. I think rebounding will be something that they'll have to do, and the guards are going to have to be a part of that. And when they have, one pretty big, the guards have done that. I mean, PJ had a 10 rebound game as an example, and that's kind of what they need. What excites me is what we've seen so far, but on top of that, what I think they can become if they continue to improve. And they've got a ways to go on the defensive end. Everybody sees that. But I do think, I've said this to everybody, you'd have to be around them like I am to see. I really think this team, they're together. They like each other. And I go back to what Coach Tang said after the Nebraska loss. They were mad. I mean, they were really, really mad and frustrated and felt like they let everybody down losing the game. I'm excited to see that, honestly.
Yeah, me too.
And this will be a hard game tonight, probably harder than Nebraska, frankly. So you got to go see what you and if you could find a way to get this one, just think about just from the perception point what it would do, right? So and that's probably true for a lot of games going forward. Seton Hall's pretty good. Creighton's
it's a good non-conference. This is the best Jerome Tang non-conference we've seen.
Yeah, it is. Seton Hall looked good yesterday. They got a win. You'll hear the game tonight. Wyatt's got the call. 6:00 is when coverage begins. K-State, Indiana, right here on KFH. Wyatt, man, I'd so much rather be good on offense in November and working on defense than vice versa.
We've earned it. Like that's what a typical K-State fan would say to me, for sure.
Yeah,
I love the fact that they can put the ball in the basket. That's
right. That's right. All right, Wyatt will have that call tonight. Wyatt, we appreciate it. Enjoy the time away.
My pleasure, guys. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
You too. There goes Wyatt Thompson, voice of the Wildcats. We'll come back. We can react to some of that. Get to KU yesterday as well. Don't go away. More Sports Daily right after this.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people. We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
On KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Glad to have you with us. Thanks to Crestview Country Club for being a great supporter of the program. Great time of year. If you're out there at Crestview, if you're a member listening to the show and you've got any holiday party needs or anything like that, give them a call. They can hook you up. If you're not a Crestview member, just tell you now's the best time of the year to join. Best deals, most wiggle room and what you might be able to get in this kind of a golf off season. Give them a call. Ask them about the different kinds of memberships. Tell them we sent you at Sports Daily and come join in on the fun that my family and so many others enjoy pretty constantly out there on the east side of Wichita. Quick shout out here to our pal Steve McIntosh announcing his retirement, 55 years. Steve will be retiring in a little while, of course, every morning over on KNSS. Steve and Ted, for a lot of years, it'll be a huge hole in the Wichita media world. But glad to see Steve with his well-earned retirement. 55 years, DJ. 55 years.
55 years. Long time.
That's a long time to do anything. But a great career there for Steve. All right, TJ, I think you have royally confused everybody, including me, on the players.
I'm confused myself.
So
I think I might be backwards. I think that next year there is a playoff. Basically, I think that this year there's only 18 teams. Next year it's going to 32, and then we'll have a playoff style bracket, I believe.
That's fine. And it won't hurt a thing. So we're going to get what we expected. We'll get, a game today, and then depending on how they do, they go into, Wednesday and maybe even Thursday. So everything says, thanks to Kevin, by the way, for sending us the link there on Twitter to look into it. But yeah, I think it's just pretty normal here. It just feels like a normal holiday week. It's just there's a lot of really good teams. I love that the players are getting paid in something like this. I think it's a good opportunity for them. It is going to be a recruiting advantage and a big one for the Blue Blood programs, because playing in this tournament becomes a major recruiting incentive, or it should, if there's potential payment involved in it. And it will be interesting to see if that. Here's what I would pray. You're concerned about it killing, and we keep using the Maui Invitational because it's probably the most notable. I think what's more likely to happen is somebody getting into the Maui and creating some sort of NIL package.
That's what's going to happen. That's kind of the bigger argument, is the slippery slope of,
and that's not a bad thing either, because then that becomes an incentive and a recruiting win for Wichita State when they go play in these tournaments, right? So I think everybody evolves and adapts. If this becomes the biggest fish, that's okay. Maybe they can create a model that can be replicated and make those other tournaments even better. The beauty of college basketball is there are so many stinking teams, and a lot of the time, so many of them are good. Like when we talk about good games, we're usually like anything where both teams were within the top 100 of Ken Palm. We're like, yeah, it's going to be a good game. That's how many teams are relevant out there in college basketball. I think it's why people who've said we could expand the tournament, that's why it's not totally crazy, because there really are that many good teams. Now, the top tier is better, always has been. So this just rewards them a little bit more. I don't have any problem with it. I think it's a little doom and gloom to say this is going to like change the landscape of anything. It's Thanksgiving week.
So next year, this is from Jeff Goodman. This is after the Big 12 made a partnership with them yesterday, and I don't know exactly if that means that a certain number of Big 12 teams get in, but it's something along those lines. I don't know if every Big 12 team gets in. I can't imagine that's true.
TNT and the Big 12 are going all in, by the way. Yes. You can see it coming.
Yeah. Jeff Goodman said Players Era will have 32 teams next year. The plan for it to be broken into 3 weeks in Las Vegas. 16 teams the first week, broken into 2 8-team events. Then 16 teams the second week, broke into 2 8-team events. And in the third week, the winners of the first 2 weeks will advance and play that out.
Okay.
So how do you even schedule around a 3-week tournament?
Well, so let's say, okay, so that would be games going into the second week of December. So basically what you would get is KU not playing a true home and home against North Carolina State potentially, and missing a game against Towson and Davidson.
Towson. Come on. Towson. It's like that. I don't care about the games that they're missing. I'm just saying, like, how do you actually schedule games? Like, do you not schedule any games?
You don't schedule games and you have consolation games. That's what you do. Yeah. You just have to take 2 trips to Vegas instead of play. Now, where you'll have to really watch out is, do you miss home games because of this? But probably like they are scheduled to go to Raleigh to play North Carolina State. So really, we're looking at the week of after Mizzou. You're looking, and Mizzou could be, a game like that could be on the chopping blocks too, but you could get that game out in Vegas in theory.
Here it is. Sports Business Journal says Big 12 announces a 5-year deal to take a 15% equity stake in the Players Era Festival, and the conference will receive 8 bids when the tournament expands to 32 teams.
Yeah, I like that. And if the other big leagues follow suit, and that leaves 8 for some at-larges, that would be fun also. And then you're really getting into something. Like if you took 8 from the Big 12 and 8 from the Big 10 and 8 from the SEC. That would leave 8 for everybody else that could rotate through there, which means just, once every 5, 6, 7 years, Wichita State could go out there, or VCU could. That'd be awesome. That'd be so cool. I think it's fine.
It's, in theory, it's cool. It's just it's logistically speaking, it's like, how does this happen? Like, how does this work?
You just have to have consolation games.
Like, somebody brought the Trilly Donovan. I don't know if you're aware of the Trilly Donovan social media stuff. He's talking about this and says that like the tournament itself is going to have to pay Towson and say, sorry, you're not playing KU next year. They're coming with us. Here's your money back. And like, that's gonna have to be another aspect of all this stuff. And it's like, where's the money coming from?
Doesn't sound like that's an issue. Doesn't sound like that's a problem. There's a lot of sponsorship dollars getting on with something like this. It's Vegas. There's TV rights. This would become a major TV event, of course. I really like it. It isn't all that different than the tournament weeks has always been. It's just another week of it. What you're explaining. It's like doing that week twice for teams, right? You do 2 of these instead of 1, and it's Vegas, so travel's a non-factor. In and out of Vegas is the easiest place in the world. So I think it just for me as a fan of it, it just am like, okay, great. They're going to get 2 or 3 more. Not that KU ever has that issue with their schedule anyway, but they're going to get 2 or 3 more awesome games before they get into conference play. Fantastic.
The best thing that this can bring forward outside of the tournament itself, because the games will be good, is if it can breed competition like we were talking about. Like if Maui can expand to 16 and then do the same thing. But the hard part is it's at the Lahaina Civic Center. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think they even have to expand. They'll just have to come up with some NIL package.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be a ton.
In theory, a giant tournament in November sounds cool because I like watching basketball, and I think that's the baseline of everything that's positive about this. I think that it's going to make some complications for everything else. I got to show you this as well. Will Warren, he's a writer for Basket Under Review, tweeted this yesterday. I don't know if you saw this. The Players Era format is actually pretty easy to understand if you read up on it, and posted this picture. Let me read it verbatim for you. All 18 men's teams will play on November 24th and November 25th, and preset matchups will determine the championship matchups on the 26th. Teams that finish 2-0 entering Wednesday will be the first to qualify for the championship game and the third place game, with 1-1 teams to follow. Tiebreakers will be determined in order by point differential, the total calories of the team pregame meal, a halftime mascot dance competition, an 18-way coin flip, the highest Scrabble score from a player's name, and points scored. If all remains equal, the championship game will be selected by Red Panda, the girl that throws the bowls. All men's games on Wednesday and Thursday will be determined following Tuesday's final game.
Let me ask you this. Do you care about the tournament format?
No, that was just funny.
No, I know. That was very funny. But I'm saying in general, I think people are paying, it's in November. Nobody, I shouldn't say nobody. I'm just excited that KU plays good teams.
Yes.
I don't care about a tournament format.
I'll say this. As a person with a KU hat on, I love the tournament. As a person with the Wichita State hat on, I don't like it as much.
What does it change for Wichita State?
I mean, it's just, in a world where Power 4 schools don't want to schedule people like Wichita State, and you're not going to play anybody.
They'll play. There's 32 teams that get invited to this. There's still a lot of teams out there with
I know,
plenty.
I'm not even saying that. In the fact, we're sitting here talking about Jerome Tang's best non-con that he's had. If K-State got a bid in this, there's not a chance they're scheduling a single other Power 5 school. They're going to play. They're going to play 8 of them in this.
So KU is in this tournament, right? And they have.
I'm talking about the bigger tournament. Whenever it gets bigger.
Okay. Well,
if it's a 3-week thing.
This time it's also North Carolina, also Duke, also UConn, also Mizzou, and also North Carolina State.
Yes.
Outside of they'll still schedule games because there's still a lot of money to be had in those games too.
I agree. But the thing is though, that's what I'm saying. Wichita State, and they are currently, even before last year, they're in the weird middle ground where it's and Jerome Tang outwardly said
play a bunch of teams in the weird middle ground. Their schedule. TJ, Wichita State's had trouble scheduling big time opponents for 2 decades.
I agree. I know.
So again, that's not going to change. That it already is that way. Who's the big non-con on their schedule this year?
I don't even know.
They don't have one. Not like that. They don't have their K-State or KU game, right? That's not. So it's not on their schedule anyway. So they're not really going to miss anything. They didn't have it to begin with. They'll schedule games against Boise State and St. Mary's, who would never get invited to this tournament in most years. And that's and boom, we've got the schedule we've got anyway. So I don't think it changes anything for anybody. The one thing I think it might change is the pressure on some of these other tournaments. Where are they going? Atlantis? That's the turn. Yeah. Maybe Atlantis now is shoot, we got to put something together NIL to keep up with this thing. And now that's a new opportunity for Wichita State. But that tournament bracket wasn't going to change. It's Colorado State, Virginia Tech, St. Mary's, and Wichita State. That wouldn't change. Nothing about that would change.
The battle for Atlantis?
Yeah.
It'd be way better than that.
That's what it is right now.
I know, but in years before the Players Era, it would have been way better than that.
I think that's a good field.
It is a good field, but it's not anywhere close to what the battle for Atlantis has been.
Wichita State's been at the battle for Atlantis.
Whatever, they were a top 10 team in the country.
Right, because they're not getting that's fine. Let's look at the 2024 Battle for Atlantis. We had I'll have to pull it up in the break. We'll get to it in a minute. We'll look. I don't think that we're changing much of anything for anybody other than what already exists. I just maybe there's some consolidation.
It just feels like this is my impetus. I don't know what the word is there, whatever that is. This just takes a college basketball, a sport, college athletics, where it's starting to be the top and everybody else, and makes it even more so the top and everybody else.
Like, I don't know what
they're playing different sports.
I don't know what you've been watching the last 100 years.
I understand there's
that's
upsets,
the way it's always been.
It's worse. NIL makes it so much worse, and this makes it worse.
Okay, we'll discuss. We are going to get to KU yesterday. Don't worry, everybody out there, because I do think they looked impressive. We got another hour of Sports Daily coming up. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, Tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
All right. Welcome back in, everybody. It is Sports Daily here, KFH. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland with you. Glad to be with you here this morning. All the different ways you listen to the show, we appreciate you on all of them. We will continue the discussion. We'll get into KU. We'll get into some of the Feast Week college basketball action we have. K-State also getting in on it. Wichita State tomorrow. KU again today. It's all What's on Tap. What's on Tap brought to you by Wichita Brewing Company, now featuring a Christmas cocktail menu. Dazzle your date with a stockings and snowfall. Make merry with a mistletoe mint, or gather the girls for a pumped espresso martini. The Christmas cocktail menu now available at Wichita Brewing Company, where groups gather for the holiday season. Glad to be you a martini guy, TJ.
If it's something fruity and not a
mistletoe,
not a James Bond martini guy.
A pumped espresso martini might be something.
I could drink that.
I'm good with like a dirty bloody martini. I don't really like to drink anything sweet, so I'd probably lean more into the James Bond
martinis. Espresso martinis are pretty tough to beat, because it's like when you're tired, it'll get you going again. It's like the older than 20,
get you going all right.
The older than 21 version of the Red Bull vodka.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, the RBV, Las Vegas only. About the only time that we've been there. Rick on YouTube asks, as we mentioned, Steve McIntosh announced a retirement. If we've mentioned the Mike Kennedy retirement, we have. Rick, Mike is finishing out the year. We love Mike Kennedy, and man, what a run he's had as well. There's a lot of change in that stuff, and you don't like it. We don't like those kinds of changes when you get used to certain things, certain ways. You don't like it, but yeah, two monsters in the local media, in Mike and Steve. All right, let's continue here. Let's talk, TJ, about the game yesterday. KU and Notre Dame. Look, I thought that KU looked really good. Peterson coming back and joining that has some legs, I think. Flory Badunga is cooking. Man, he looks good and
really good.
And that was to be expected, though. Like, I expected that out of Flory Badunga, but he looks really good. I didn't expect, because I just didn't know that Bryson Tiller would be this much of a factor. I think he has looked really good. One thing that just screamed at me in that game yesterday was how big KU looks out there. Like, long, athletic, like they just have size for days. And that to me stood out quite a bit in the Notre Dame game. They utilized it well. They're not shooting the ball. Like, they're 6 of 20 from 3. That's not going to be the thing that they do again this year. They've tried, but it's not. I mean, I don't know what kind of 3-point shooter Darren Peterson is yet. Maybe he adds a lot to that, but
he will.
That's not going to be their thing. I think their thing is they're going to be able to bully people around a little bit. And if Peterson can be instant offense like we think he can, if he can just be, walk in the arena, score 20 kind of player, then I think this has some legs because they have got the physical prowess to do a lot of good things this year.
It's just so scary. And yesterday, Jaden Dawson got hurt, and that's nothing to his fault. He got hit in the face or something like that. But I mean, they are going to they're playing literally 5 guys basically. It is scary what that looks like down the stretch because that's not the recipe that you want to be playing in March. They'll add Darren Peterson back, and they'll get to 7.
They'll get to the 8 that they play. McDowell and El Marco have got to be factors, and
El Marco. I know El Marco.
They played a little more yesterday. They were a little bit more, they got a lot of minutes yesterday, but those 2 guys have got to be factors. Cole Rosario didn't do anything. Where do we sit? Everybody talks about Cole Rosario like he's going to be the guy. I feel like that maybe at the very end of the year. I'm not quite sure that's going to be a fair expectation for him early on.
People are learning more about the other. I think Melvin Council's actually been pretty great early on, and he's a guy that's going to be able to score. I think that he might fill more of what we thought the Cole Rosario role was going to be. I think that Cole Rosario may just be the 3-and-D guy, basically. I don't think he's going to be a real, second or third option, I think, is where I'm at with it, but I might be wrong about that. I think that Flory has gotten, yesterday will show you, Flory has gotten immensely better from where he was last year. He looked like an NBA player. I mean, his stat line, he looked like an NBA player. He had 18, 5, and 9, or 18, 9, and 5. So
he's really good, man. He's awesome.
He was passing the ball well. He led the team in assists yesterday.
He is he's going to be a force. And if I think you just have to be it's hard for KU, but the patience could pay off if Peterson is fully healthy and ready to roll. Because if he is the player that we've seen glimpses of and literally everybody thinks he's going to be, if you put that with what we saw yesterday, that is a recipe for success. I mean, you can see it. You can see it. If he was there providing that offense with everything else we saw yesterday, that will be a very good team with upside for days, right? Because Badunga is going to keep getting better. And if a young guy like Rosario continues to get better, you're creating depth then with these other guys who look like, I don't mean pros in the sense of they're going to be playing in the NBA, but they just look like professional college basketball players. Everybody's just doing their job, taking it through, doing the things that they're supposed to be doing. And I'm talking about White, and I'm talking about Council, and I'm talking about Tiller. They all just look like they know what they're doing, and they're fine in their roles out there.
Tiller's 19. Yeah,
I know. He looks old. I'm telling you, he
does look old.
He's the biggest surprise to me on this roster. He looks like he's been there forever. He plays that way.
Yeah, he is the biggest surprise. And I agree. I mean, this team feels like they've got a much higher ceiling than they've had the last 2 years, but they might also have a lower floor.
Of course they do. They could come lose today, right? And it wouldn't surprise me if they came out and lost the game to Syracuse. It wouldn't surprise me at all. It's totally on the table. I think that's what but that's what I mean with the patience. You're going to have patience and see, and just think about, look at what you saw yesterday. Look at the way that they played that game. And then imagine the infusion of offense coming from Darren Peterson. And I think that's where you can see how this all comes together in the end. Now, again, we're waiting on this player who's been hurt, and it sounds like everything's progressing fine, and he could and should be okay right after Vegas. But that's the patience that I think you're going to have this year. But also in that patience, understand they might lose to Syracuse today because they need that offensive infusion pretty badly. It doesn't work without Peterson being a force offensively. But if he is that force offensively, then I think it works well. And you're counting on the freshman to be consistent, and that's a totally different
Man,
conversation.
have you dug into Syracuse quite yet?
No, I have not.
They got taken to the wire by Monmouth out of the CAA. Monmouth or they beat Monmouth, 78-73. So they came into this, and I remember I think Shreas was telling us, like, yeah, I mean they played Monmouth pretty close, so I don't know who Syracuse is going to be. They took Houston into overtime yesterday.
I was about to say, didn't they hang with
That's
Houston?
That's crazy. I didn't see that at all. That's nuts.
They're probably in the same boat. Like, it's November. These teams look at, what was it, Boise that lost to whoever it was, and they look great against Wichita State. Teams are going to do this. It's early in the year. I don't know what Syracuse is going to be. Syracuse is the team that ends up with 19 wins and goes to the Sweet 16 every year, it feels like. So just don't overreact one way or the other to what you see from KU. We don't get that this year. We don't get them peaking in November, and it's not a bad thing. It's what people have been clamoring for. When you clamor for a team built around an NBA, future star, and that this is what you're going to get. I hope they look as good as they did yesterday, though. I think they showed us the style. I think they showed us a pretty good blueprint of what they would like to. I don't know if Padunga and Tiller are going to combine for 30 shots in a lot of games. It was what was working yesterday. But I think with both of those guys on the floor, and Rosario's got, they all have size. So they should be able to defend really well. And it's not lumbering size, right? It's athletic size. So they should be able to defend really well. They had Padunga. He was guarding a point guard yesterday at a time. He was out there one-on-one on the perimeter. And I'm like, okay, big fella, let's see if you can contain him. He did fine. So if they can do some of that stuff defensively, they're gonna set their floor to a great defense. And it's gonna take some time to get there, but I like it. Come on, Peterson. Just get out there, buddy. Get out there and do it. Because
if his return is going to be against UConn in Allen Fieldhouse, that's nuts.
We're not hearing as much of the stuff with him, which I'm so thankful for, now that they've been a little more forthcoming. Hey, everybody, it's a hamstring injury. Hey, everybody, he's not going to play in Las Vegas. Hey, everybody, it's coming. Now it feels much better than it did a few weeks ago, where it's just yeah, guys, he's hurt. He'll be healthy. Let's see what he does when he gets back healthy. It's been a much more pleasant experience following them the last, I think, week, since they've just been a little more forthright with it.
Probably so, yeah. It's gonna be awesome when he comes. I see the vision. I'll say that. I don't think I saw the vision. I think I see it more now.
And I don't want to overreact to one game either. That's probably irresponsible. But the vision, I saw it yesterday big time. We'll see if they followed up today. Syracuse, that's a 2:30 game. Man, it's a feast of the flipping best. It is the best. All right, we'll come back. Big Chiefs injury news to get to on a couple of different fronts yesterday. Let's talk about it when we return on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems
Why are they hiding it?
and real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Sports Daily is on KFH.
All right, everybody, welcome back in to Sports Daily here on KFH, a Tuesday edition of the show. We just talked about KU basketball. We've been talking a lot about the Players Era Tournament. KU got a big one coming up against Syracuse later this afternoon, 2:30 tip there. Jacob, we haven't even started talking about Monday Night Football, what we saw last night, and it really wasn't a lot.
No,
but
it was boring. San Francisco did what they needed to. Carolina's been a good story, but not really a factor at this point. They're still kind of boring, I think. But San Francisco's a team, I will say, that like and they've had a ton of injuries, but if they get healthy, that's a team that could make a run. That's a team I think that could make a run, but they've got a long way to go to figuring things out through injury. But Purdy's back, and he didn't look particularly good last night, but they're starting to get some weapons back. I think, Kittle's back. He's looked good. I think they've got some legs if they can get to the postseason. There's a lot of teams like that in the NFL this year. Right now, that's what the Chiefs are like. That's what the Cowboys are like. That's who they'll play Thursday. So, the Chiefs this week, but they're going to do it without Trey Smith, it looks like. Did we get a true timetable? We didn't hear from Andy Reid yesterday. But Trey Smith, it sounds like, will be out for at least a little while. And Isaiah Pacheco could be back. I think we lost your microphone there, TJ, if you want to reconnect it. Yeah, it's so we'll get some of that today. It's the weird short week turnaround. So the loss of Smith is going to make it more difficult to get the running game going. But the good news is Pacheco was a full participant in practice yesterday. So some of the stuff we worried about and talked about with, how does Kareem Hunt respond to a game when he carried it 30 times? Well, the good news is Pacheco should be back to help that. But I don't think they should either, by the way. I don't think they're going to want to, they're not going to run the ball on the Cowboys. Cowboys have a terrible pass defense and a great run defense.
I thought the Cowboys had a good pass rush, though.
They have an okay pass rush. They got a little healthier, but it's not. I mean, it's not like what the Broncos or the Bills have right now.
I mean, that's my thing is that, what has the Chiefs shown you? They've struggled against pass rushing teams and they haven't been able to throw the ball very much. And so I think that if it turns out that, especially without Trey Smith out there, is another thing to watch. Like, where are they going to adjust there? Are they going to put Caliendo?
Smith hurts him in the run game. I mean, the Cowboys have a pass rush that's about the same this year as Kansas City. So, I mean, that's where it's going to be. I don't worry about it. I worry about their run defense with those two defensive tackles. So like the game plan has to be to throw the ball. And I know that's, and they did. Again, they threw it 46 times against the Colts. I don't know. I wish that I knew what the plan was going into that game, because I would bet a lot of money that it was not to run the ball 30 times to Kareem Hunt, 36 times to the running back. I think that was a thing that happened in the game, and an adjustment that they made. A very good adjustment, one that I'm very glad they made, and I think shows a lot of growth for coaching staff that sometimes refuses to do it.
I know.
I think it was good, but I don't think that's what they intended to do coming in, because they also still threw it a ton. And it's strange. It's a strange dynamic because you turn around and you play the Cowboys, and I think the same thing exists. I think you got to come into that game expecting to throw the ball a lot. And on the road, that's not been a good recipe for the Chiefs this year. That's why I think both of us are a little concerned about this game.
Yeah, it's a scary spot for Kansas City. I think it definitely is. I think that the Cowboys are a team that's gotten better than their record shows that they are. I think going on the road for a Chiefs team that has shown its struggles, I think if they would have struggled more against the Colts or lost the game against the Colts, then I really would not like what they are. But I think that they actually do have some momentum going back to their side, which makes me feel a little better about it. I wonder what the line. What did we see the line at last? 3.5?
Yeah, it was 3.5. Just a lot more about the Chiefs than you trust about the Cowboys, right? Yep. You trust Mahomes more than you trust Prescott. You don't trust the receivers more. And I wouldn't even say you trust the passing game more, because the Cowboys' passing game is elite. But you certainly trust the defense more for City than you trust Dallas.
Yep.
What makes it a little more difficult is the Dallas defense, since they've been healthy and since they made those trades, has been much better than the defense we saw at the beginning of the season. So in their last two games, that Cowboys defense has been a whole lot better. Is that for real? One of those was the Raiders, of course, and the Eagles offense has struggled this year. This will be the best offense that they've been up against. So to me, it's a little bit of an unknown. Like, is the Cowboys defense really transformed, or have they just played a couple of offenses that have struggled this
It's true. We'll see. I mean, it could very well be a situation where the Chiefs look like they did against the Lions and just scored 30 points and look good. So it's a big
They
game.
did that at home, though. They did that
true.
at home.
They haven't done that. When's the last time they scored 30 on the road? That's a good question. I have no idea
Oh
what that would
man,
be.
it's been a minute, and the other thing is too. I don't know if it's a home road thing. That seems abnormal. Not. I mean, a little bit for the Chiefs, and that may be wrong. Like that may be always a thing for them. But I also just like, to me, and this is what sticks in my head too, and it's probably what sticks in Vegas' head and why they continue to be favored and all these things. That offense does exist. We saw it for 4 or 5 weeks in a row.
I know.
It's still there. It's still out there, right? And so at any point, you just feel like these field goals are going to turn into touchdowns and drives will stop stalling and Mahomes will stop throwing red zone interceptions and like those little things change and all of a sudden it's a few more touchdowns and we're having a very different conversation. The problem for the Chiefs has not been moving the ball. They've been moving the ball effectively. They just haven't been capitalizing on it. That changes all of a sudden. This is a juggernaut offense again. And I don't know, how do you sit here and try to guess at mistakes in the opposing red zone? Like that, I mean, we're not.
It's a really weird year because of what you said. Basically, the offense has been there. Like it's not. I feel like we're going crazy a little bit.
They move the ball at will.
They do that. The thing is, in their struggles that they've had, like it happened 4 weeks ago with the team that we're watching, and then like they struggled, like they have the past month outside of Sunday, but you can even say the first half of Sunday too. But like. It's not like the argument that we've made in years past. Like last year, kept making the argument. The offense sucked last year, but we kept making the argument of the fact of like, yeah, but they're the Chiefs and they've done it before. Like this is saying like, yeah, they did it a month ago.
This offense is so much better than last year's.
I know, but it's weird that like is rearing its head and they aren't
because they're making
good.
mistakes. Look, the mistakes and the penalties. It's the NFL. You do that stuff, you lose. And I think the Chiefs have always had a little more cushion than most teams to be able to do some of that stuff. The Chiefs have had they've had years where they're bad penalty team. This is one of those years, and they've been able to overcome it. I think their margins are just thinner. I don't know if that's because they've gotten older. I don't know if it's because the rest of the league has gotten better. I don't know what the reason is, but it's there. And mistakes are what is killing this team. They move the ball. Their offense is good. The game plans are good. And then they make mistakes and shoot themselves in the foot 5 or 6 times in a game. And then the defense bails them out. And then they get another opportunity. And they finally got on the good end of one of those close finishes. But when they don't make the mistakes, we see them beat really good teams badly, right? Like that's and so whenever you get into these games against other good teams and the Chiefs are mistake prone, now they're playing in a place and against a team that if you're mistake prone, they'll beat you. That's why they have all these losses. You play all these good teams, you can't afford to make mistakes. And right now they make too many mistakes. That's their biggest issue. Their biggest issue isn't that they can't move the ball or that their defense sucks. Like they're good at all of those things, but the mistakes kill them as they play a schedule full of teams who are real close. The Cowboys are to make plenty of mistakes too. I don't know if you watch the Eagles game. They can deal it up as well. And so I am excited. I talked to my family and everybody at Cowboys fan. Like all bets are off, man. This game could get wild.
I agree. It's a weird spot for them, 100%. And I think that it's just a weird year for the Chiefs. I think that they've just succumbed back to what the NFL has become, of where there's just not really. They've been the dominant team, and that's just
they're a whole lot more like the rest of the league now than they probably ever have been.
Yeah.
And I don't know who the truly elite teams are this year. We may not have any. Maybe it's the Rams, but I don't believe that either. This is just a year where we don't really have one. Like there is no juggernaut out there right now that you feel great about just pushing their way through. Not even Max's Patriots, because Max is fired up that we ever say anything kind about the Chiefs. He's blowing us up in the message room right now. That it's It's a problem that Trey Smith, back to the original, it's a problem that Trey Smith isn't going to be there. That's going to make it harder for them to run the ball. It's a good thing, though, that they get Isaiah Pacheco back. I bet we don't see Dameon Pierce on the roster unless Pacheco or Hunt get hurt. I think he got signed to the practice squad, which is what Briscoe was talking to us about yesterday. They're really going to carry. The answer right now is yes. They're going to carry that many backs on the practice squad, I think, just as insurance, because Pacheco is having a hard time staying healthy.
Yeah, I think that it's wild. It's a weird year. I don't even know what to think of this game. What to think of the rest of the year? Where they're at? Are they going to have to go undefeated? I guess that's the question to ask.
Well, we don't know the answer to that yet. We're not going to. It depends on too much on what their peers do. They've got to beat the Chargers. We know that. They've got to beat the Texans. We know that. Do they have to beat the Cowboys? Again, like last week, if you're going to lose one, you want it to be these games that don't impact you directly against the teams you're chasing, and this is not one of those. But we also saw the Jags eke another one out in overtime. And do you really think the Bills are going to lose all those games? And you're hoping that you catch the Chargers. You still need a little help there. So right now, yeah, you got to think of it that way. I mean, of course, there aren't Andy Reid's not sitting in the locker room saying, all right, guys, well, I think we got room for one more loss here down the stretch. Yeah. So, in their minds, I
guess what we can say is that the one loss carries a lot of different weight depending on who it's to.
Absolutely, it does. You cannot lose to the Texans and you cannot lose to the Chargers. I think those are the two absolute, without question, these games must be win games, or it's going to be very, very difficult to get in there. Those are the two, for me, right now, that carry the most weight. You're obviously going to, even though they're both road games, count on Tennessee and Vegas as wins. So the Texans and Chargers, those games they can't lose, those come in back-to-back weeks at home with full rest. Those aren't the weird weeks. That's good. That's good news, right? The other home game is Denver on the short week. Denver, unless Denver starts losing games, that game probably doesn't mean a whole lot for Denver.
I forgot that's a short week too. That's freaking.
Yeah. That game probably doesn't mean a lot for the Broncos. Maybe the Broncos have something wrapped up by then. Maybe they get complacent and that helps the Chiefs. Like this is what it's like for other fan bases, everybody. Like this is what it like. You get into late November and this is what you're doing every week. That's not something the Chiefs have had to do for a very long time, even before Mahomes in a lot of years. But that's where we are right now, where you're just holding on to the seat and hoping and looking at Jacksonville and Arizona in overtime and losing sleep over it and all of these things. Welcome to the party of the rest of the NFL. And the Chiefs get to play on a short week on the road against a team that's getting back-to-back home games, getting healthy, getting swaggy. That's just as desperate as you are. We're going to pick this game. We're going to do picks tomorrow. We're going to pick this game.
Yeah.
I'm going to need till then. Yeah. I'm going to need a minute. I don't know what to pick here. Oh my goodness gracious. Dallas is better at home. Dallas
3.5. I'll just pick the same way I picked last week, and Chiefs will win, and the Cowboys will cover.
And the silly thing is, well, and it's because they're on the road too. Indianapolis is better than Dallas, but now it's a road game. I think that's the way to go. You just hope they win a close one. You almost know it's going to be a close one. But here's the other, did you watch any of the Dallas-Philadelphia game?
The comeback.
It was like watching the Chiefs. Yeah. The Cowboys just made 80 billion mistakes early and then found a way to claw it back in and get it tight late. And then, all bets are off. I don't who's going to be the team that doesn't come in. Is it going to be like a slop fest early where it's just all these mistakes, which is what both of these teams have been prone to do before they finally get it together and look like world beaters at the end of a game and in the fourth quarter? There's so much weird stuff possible in a short week on Thanksgiving. Watch it be like a defensive slugfest. That's what we'll get, right? We'll just get some slog it out 14-8 weird outcome game.
When's an offensive? When's the last time a team scored 50 in the NFL?
Not that long ago.
Has there been one this season?
No, I don't think we've had one this year. Did the Commanders get there last year?
Maybe once.
I don't think it's not. What's the over-under on this game? Nobody's getting a 50.
No. But I'm just saying, the NFL has become
52. 52 is the over-under.
Yeah, the NFL has turned into such a defensive league now, and it's so lame.
In November it is, not early in the season. Overs were good early in the year, but yeah, I don't like the good defense either. I want some offense. I'm glad you agree. Most people don't agree with me on that. They're like, no, I want to see a snow game at Lambeau and it's 13-10, and I'm like, no, it's torture. That game last night, 20-9, that was terrible. I don't want to see that. Nobody wants to see. That's why I always say
did the Panthers even score a touchdown?
Yeah, Tech got one. It's why I'm always like, give me all the good quarterbacks. I don't want there to be a team in the league that doesn't have a good quarterback, because it makes the game so much more entertaining. I think we'll get some fireworks, and I think we'll get some points out of this one. But we'll watch the actual practicing today. Is the day of practice. So the designations yesterday, again, are guesses, but they tell us what we need to know. Trey Smith would not have practiced. He's not going to play. And Isaiah Pacheco probably is. Who is your Trey Smith replacement? Is it a rotation, or is it just Caliendo and
probably
go?
just put Caliendo over there and just try
Caliendo and go.
Yeah,
that'll also. I mean, that's
well,
good. You heard.
I don't know. It could be Jalen Moore. You put Jalen Moore at the guard spot.
That's what I wonder. Maybe
that'd be interesting.
Maybe, or maybe try both. But that's what Romo and Nance pointed it out during the game, and it was a good point. It didn't come true, but they were like, they're going to have a hard time now with Smith out running the ball like they have, and they stuck with it. I mean, they still tried, but those two tackles with the Chiefs' run game, which is right up the middle, I just don't see it, man. Here's what I've got to commit to right now. If the Chiefs have 10 or 11 running back carries and lose, I'm trying right now to commit to you that it won't bother me that they ran it that little, because the game plan going in cannot be to run the ball against this team. Their secondary is not good at all. Their run defense is fantastic. I'm not going to be mad if they come out and throw it, because I think it's the right game plan. Results out the window. Who cares? I'll make that commitment to you. We'll come back. We got more Sports Daily. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
8310 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Sports Daily is on KFH.
Welcome back in, everybody. Hey, don't forget your gallons of tea from HTO before the Thanksgiving holiday. You can get those gallons right now from any HT location. Any way that you want them, come and get them. You can also get a free cup of tea right now by texting the keyword tea to the short code 20357. You can enter that contest once per day. Message and data rates apply. Good luck there, everybody. We come back in. We're talking Chiefs a little bit, getting ready for a Thursday full of incredible NFL action. Our buddy Jackson Schneider, who will be in a little bit over the holidays here with us, sent us a scenario, TJ, where the Chiefs can still win the AFC West. Here we go. Here we go. And they just have to win out, right? And the Broncos go 2-2 and need one of the losses to come apparently to an AFC team.
Yeah.
We're not there yet.
Yeah.
We're not there yet.
Yeah.
I don't want to
imagine.
I can imagine it. Yes, I can imagine it. I can absolutely imagine a world where this all just works out for the Chiefs. That's what the last 8 or 9 years have been like for them. It all just works out in the end, right?
Yeah.
But I think in the short term, it's more about, can you imagine the Chiefs going to Dallas and playing mistake-free football to come up with a win? You know what I mean?
Like, but also could not.
That's like the bigger picture stuff is, yes, I can imagine it. I can imagine everything being there in the end the way they want. Yes. But in the short term, based on what we've seen lately, it's too easy to think about that stuff and just say, oh, yeah, there's still a chance. That's still. Can we see him play a game first without 58 critical mistakes? Can we see that first before we start thinking big picture with this team? We had those moments, right, where Rice came back, they got healthy, they were putting up a ton of points, they were beating everybody by 10 or more. All of those things were happening. That's a long time ago. That's a long time ago right now for Kansas.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, how much stock can you take in that? Like, is it a different team? Like, it's the same players.
But it was almost it will be a full calendar month when they play Thursday. Since we've seen that version of the Chiefs. It has not been a pleasant November. November's included a loss to Buffalo, a loss to Denver. Then you got the overtime win against Indianapolis, but they haven't played well, in my opinion. They haven't played a really good game since October 27th. Now, you might make the case that they played well against Indianapolis, and I would listen because that's a quality opponent. But there were still plenty of the things that they did that could have lost them that game. Like, when are we getting a mistake-free game again?
I know. Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
If it comes against Dallas, they'll beat Dallas bad. But I don't know how you count on that.
Ask this question: if they do it against Dallas on Thursday, how much stock do you take in that? Are they back? Are they the best team in football again?
I think we have to rewire what the best team in football even means.
I know,
right now.
like, but I mean, legitimately, we saw it one time against the Lions, and everybody said the Chiefs are the best team in football. So, like, if they do it again,
well, we saw that, and then we saw them blow out.
I know, but
Commanders.
Then it strengthened how you felt about that. They thought they were the best team in football. Everybody did. Like, that was the thing. It wasn't like us being Chiefs homers. The whole league thought they were the best team in football, and now you're here, and nobody thinks that. But if you go out and do it against the Cowboys, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, like, yeah, they're going to run the table. Look at that. Look at them. Look what they did on Thanksgiving.
And they are, again, I'm looking at FanDuel odds. First one that popped up here. The Rams right now are the favorite, 4.5-ish to 1. Then the Eagles at 6.5. Then it's the Chiefs, but it's the Chiefs at 10 to 1. So I'm not real sure what being the best team in football even means right now, because it feels like we're going to have, like, imagine a month from now when we're ending the regular season, right? The last week of the regular season is January 4th. So it's a month and a week. You think what we're seeing now is what we're going to be seeing then, is when we look at those Super Bowl odds? I'll bet you it's not.
Yeah.
It's going to shift. The Rams are the darling for the moment because they've put together the most recent good stretch of games. But what in the NFL this year tells us that everybody's not going to hit a rough patch?
Yeah.
I mean, and maybe they don't. Maybe Max's Patriots are 14-3 by the end of the year. You think they're going to be favorite? Because they won't be. And I don't even know it. Like, and maybe that's right where they want to be. Maybe they're like, we'll be, we'll just go do our own thing anyway. But we're living in a world where Jacksonville's in the playoffs. Jacksonville doesn't look very good.
No,
but they're in right now. So I don't think any of that matters. I truly, like, it is a week-to-week proposition for me right now in the NFL, which is a blast to watch. Like, I'll be honest, it's a really enjoyable thing to sit there and not have a clue.
It's true. And I think that's gonna it's gonna produce the best playoffs that we've had, I think, too, because, like, and this is coming from Chiefs people here. Like, I think it'll show you it's just like the conversation, and we saw it a little bit when the Chiefs had to go on the road in 2023, but I think that still, like, Chiefs were favored in all of those games. I think maybe not the Bills game, but, like,
I think
this year
that was it. They were in not that one.
This year will show. I mean, you'll get whatever you could get Bills Patriots right off the bat, and it's like,
oh, it's me incredible.
Yeah, and it goes to it'll just be the question, like, do you take the 6-win team that has the MVP on it, or do you take the 14-win team?
However many games, this is the absurdity. Like how many games, no matter how many there are left on the schedule, do you think the Chiefs would not be the favorite in?
I don't know if there
Like
would be
what
any.
would be a scenario right now where they weren't the favorite?
I mean, all of their tough games are at home, except for the
Well, no,
Cowboys.
but even envision it in the playoffs. Let's say they have to go on the road. Let's say they've got to go to New England. Who do you think is going to be the betting favorite in that game?
I could see it being a Patriots. Like, pick them.
It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be. Maybe at the Bills. Maybe. But probably not even then. Like, that's the thing. That the expectation, like, we have to put that stuff all to the side because it means less than normal. And normally I do take a lot of stock in that stuff. Like, because I think it's just like you're taking it and putting it on paper and here's the way, But this year, when you've got a mistake-prone team like them, yeah, they could beat anybody. Of course they could. They're also very capable of losing to average teams.
Yeah.
And they're especially capable on the road. Now, their losses that we've seen recently have not been to average teams. And in fact, when you look at their losses, Chargers, Eagles, on the road against the Jags, on the road against Buffalo, on the road against Denver, the Chargers game was on the road. There's not a bad loss in there based on what those teams have done the rest of the way. So we probably are being fair to the Chiefs. If we're being real honest, they've played a lot of really good teams on the road and they've lost those games.
Yep.
And that's not like, okay, like that's usually it's the way that they lose them though that makes it feel
it just
ridiculous.
Takes the feel like I keep saying, like we thought they were the best team in football and everybody did. And like week by week, they've just like shown you that they're not the best team in football.
They're
and not because they lose, like they lost at the Bills last year. And everybody's like, well, yeah, it's fine. Chiefs still the best team in football. And I think that like I guess they lost to the Bills this year. And I think everybody's like, yeah, it's fine. Whatever. And then I think just the way that they lost to the Broncos and then I don't know.
I think it's more about can they be the best team in football? And the answer to that is yes. But you can't make mistakes and be the best team in football. And right now we just continue to see them make them. I want to know, and maybe this is it in the homecoming game of sorts, when Patrick Mahomes just goes nuclear on somebody, because it's going to come. Like, when does he have the game where he doesn't miss the deep ball and doesn't throw costly interceptions or miss easy like, because that is like, that's coming. And that's when their offense, you'll be like, oh my goodness, they're moving the ball at will. Their yardage numbers are absurd.
I know. That's the weirdest part about it too.
They're not finishing. They're not putting the ball in the end zone. That was something they were really good at early this year. And they've not been lately.
They were bad at it last year as well. That's kind of why all those games were close.
Yep. And they got good at it. Remember, they were converting everything, their goal line, their red zone. Like, they looked really good early in the year. We saw Kareem Hunt become so effective in that role. And then it's just kind of faltered off again. And that's been a huge key. Like, they are a few converted drives away from being a 2 or 3 loss team here. Like, across the board, they're that way. But man, penalties and these stupid things that are happening are the difference in what we've seen, or the difference in being 6-5 and 9-2 or whatever it would be. Like, that's what it is. The Jacksonville game, mistakes. The Denver game, mistakes. The early games this season, that seems like such a lifetime ago. Honestly,
see, that's the thing. But going back to my argument here of how much stock can you take in something that we saw a month ago, that one 2 months ago, you can't take stock in because it wasn't the same team at all.
Not the same team, right? The stock a month ago is just your optimistic look at here's what they can be.
Yes,
but that's not.
That's why it's weird. Is that it's not like Rashee Rice got hurt.
Because recently it's just mistakes. And I don't think they can make them against the Cowboys. They can probably count on the Cowboys, though, to make a few of their own. And can the defense follow? Here's what needs to happen. If you're like, let the offense bail out the defense in this game. The defense is going to have its work cut out for it, stopping a very high-powered Dallas offense. So bail them out, offense. Turn this into a shootout and go flex a little bit. That's what needs to happen in this game. We'll see if it does. The other games on Thanksgiving, just for folks out there, like the Thanksgiving games, if I remember correctly, tend to score big for whatever reason. But man, we've got a Packers-Lions game with an over-under at 49, Chiefs-Cowboys at 52, Bengals-Ravens at 52. Let's go. Like, we're going to get points and fireworks.
Joe Burrow's going to play too, it sounds like.
Oh my goodness. Let's go. Like, this is the best slate I think we've ever had, top to bottom. And I know if it wasn't Burrow, it'd be a little bit different, but now it's Burrow. So you even love that game because it has all the implications for the Ravens. Packers, Lions favored by 2.5. I can't wait to pick these games tomorrow. Is this a Lions bounce back? Like, man, this is good stuff.
I just did the first time the Chiefs have played on Thanksgiving. Can you give me the number, Jacob? Since when?
Throw
a stab out there.
We talked about it 800 times this offseason when it got announced. 1994.
2006.
Okay. Who'd they play?
I don't know.
It had to be the Cowboys.
Oh,
Lions.
Nope, not that one.
Right.
I don't know. Sorry.
We'll pick them. We'll pick them tomorrow. Good luck to us. They're all three going to be tough to pick. We'll be back. We got a little more Sports Daily. Don't go away.
O'Reilly